All right, so here we are. We got up here to Bishop, and we're at the Lower Owens River, which you can no doubt see behind me there. And we're in the wild trout section here. And today I'm going to try something a little bit different. I have with me a Remington 10-foot field kit. This is a package deal. Czech nymphing rod. Now I'm a traditional fly fisherman, so this is all really brand new to me, and I'm a little nervous about trying something new here because I'm an old dog, and learning new tricks is sometimes a little hard, and I definitely don't want to miss out on the great fishing that's been going on up here. I always like to check the water temperature, and it looks like it's about 50 degrees. So 50 to 60 is usually pretty nice water. All right, we've got a nice little pool up here, and I'm just trying to keep this line kind of tight so that I can see any disruption in the flow of that line. And any pause or jerk, either a fish or my fly getting caught up on the rocks. This is a much longer rod than I'm used to fishing, so it's a little bit different from a casting perspective. It definitely gives me more reach. See about this little spot over here, and I'm just trying to keep kind of a tight line and let these flies come through this section here, and see if we can't draw something out of here. So over here, it's a nice little piece of water, nice sunlight shining in there, and it's warming up a little bit. And it's just kind of a spot where you can kind of see yourself catching a fish. So let's see if we can't pull one out of here. I think I'm getting a little better feel for this nymphing, Czech nymphing rod. I keep calling it Euro, Czech. I should probably just decide on one name. I kind of like the term contact. Because the idea, of course, is that you're keeping contact with your fly without anything, without much drift in between it or drag. But this looks like a good spot to me. If I don't catch a fish here, I may have to go change rods. Because I couldn't imagine not catching a fish here with my conventional fly rod. Some bugs out, that's good. Some big bugs. All right, let's try one more out there, a little deeper. But you can see, I think I'm getting a better feel for this. Keeping my line pretty taut and keeping that indicator line pretty much out of the water, pretty much down to the leader. Should get me right down to the bottom. I've got two flies on, a hare's ear and a green perdigon of some sort. All right, got a fish out of this big whole pool here, and it looks like a pretty nice fish. Looks like a brown, and this will be my first official, assuming I didn't snag him. Nope, got him in the mouth. Get in there. Ah. All right, there we go. We've got a brown, and you can see it took it right there. Oop. Hold on, fella. You kind of got this snagged around him a little bit. There we go. Hold on, fella. Hold on. Okay. So there we go. That's our first fish officially out of the Lower Owens wild trout section on a Euro nymphing rod. One of the nice things about the river running at only 90 cubic feet per second is that this water is navigable in places it usually is not. Although right now I am coming up to my chest right here, but most of the time of the year you would not be able to fish this area. So let's see if we can get something out of here. Yeah, it's right up to my chest. So I don't usually prefer fishing slow water like this. I kind of like ripples and, you know, casting behind rocks and stuff like that, around rocks, and faster water. But you know, they say these are where the big ones hang out, these big pools. So I certainly am not opposed to that, and hopefully you won't be either if we hook into one. Although if I do hook into one, I'm not going to be moving anywhere too fast unless it's underwater. Right. Fish on. Maybe I'll start liking these big pools a little better. I'm in deep water here, so I'm just trying to slowly get out of here without falling over. You can see we got a live one on there, and good to see it. It's on that bottom fly. And let's get this baby in the net. All right, so there we go. See if you have a good look at that fish. Another brown. A lot of the fish in this part of the river are browns, and he took that lower fly and got him right in the lip there. All right, so that's the second fish we've taken out of this spot here. And, you know, we'll try a few more. I'd like to get around this corner, but I think that water's only going to get deeper, so I'm a little concerned about that. But I'm right up here against the bank, and like I said, it's chest high. I'd like to be able to fish right along the bank to my right, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of fish underneath this brush on my right here that you can see. I just can't get to it from where I'm at. If I could go around it, I could fish the part above it. Getting a little warmer, and I suspect that might help with the action. Okay, we can't get around, that water gets too deep there around that bend, so I got to come back downstream. And the good thing about that is I get to try this pole again, which I'm sure there's got to be fish in here. So we're going to try this one more time on the way back and around this pool over here. And I want to see if we can wrap something out of here. I was very surprised I didn't get something out of here before. You know, sometimes, you know, when you're fishing, you just see spots that, you know, they just look really, really good. Ooh, I just fell off about 2 feet of depth there. And I guess these fish don't want to have anything to do with me over here. But they may not have a choice on one of these casts. Well, that was about as good as a drift as it can get, I think. You know, there's always that question, how long do you fish a hole that you're convinced has a fish, but you can't catch anything? Do you stay until you catch something? Which, you know, could be a long time, if ever. Or you just finally say, okay, just not today. And nothing yet, so this is it. Last try. But I want to get right where I want it a little deeper, so this might be my second to last try. Aha! We knew it! We knew there was a fish in there, but we lost him. Fish on. All right, back to that little hole. We knew there was fish in there. I didn't think they were that small, but you know, we'll take it. It's a fish, it's a brown. So my assessment so far with this rod is, you know, it doesn't seem drastically different to me. So, you know, probably a good sign that I'm not doing it right. You know, I kind of like the idea of, you know, keeping my fly line out of the water, because I do think there's a, you know, I do get a little better sense of where my fly is, and I can feel the bottom at times. So I think those are positive elements. But you know, not a huge difference over my regular fly rod yet. But I also realized that I'm not. There were some things that made using this easier. One was holding the fly line in my right hand, and just keeping a little tighter line. And the second one was keeping that sighter a little bit more out of the water. It seemed to just help me get a better read on things like that, but not a fish. But it, you know, these flies are getting down pretty quickly. No question about that. Fish on. All right, we got him. Little fish, and he took the bottom fly. Try right up here. There's a nice little seam right through here too. Right through there. You just kind of see where the water's different. Right there, tip of my rod. If you look at it, it's a little different on one side and the other. Sean. All right, nice brown. One of the things about these Euro rods is they're longer and harder to, you gotta lift them up higher. All right, really pretty brown here. Hopefully you got a good look at this. Pretty spots. Beautiful fish right there. All right, nice fish. Kind of right where I knew one was going to be, right? All right, so first half of the day is over. Not a bad first half, especially using that new Remington 10-foot Euro rod. We ended up landing 7 fish, anywhere from, the small one was probably 4 or 5 inches, but most of them were kind of 8 to 12 inches. Second half of the day, I'm going to go back to my tried and true, my first love. That's my Scott 3-weight. It's a beautiful rod. It casts so smoothly, and we're going to see if how we can do with that rod for a couple hours here in the afternoon. We'll see how it goes. Can't wait to get back out on the water with you. Okay, so as I mentioned, I've got my 3-weight Scott rod. This thing is pure butter to cast. It is just such a nice rod. It's so easy to fish. As a matter of fact, that Euro nymphing rod was getting kind of my arm was getting kind of sore holding that thing. This thing is just such a beautiful rod. It's so easy to cast. I feel like I can cast it anywhere, within a 2-foot square box, and pretty much hit my spot. But as you can see, I don't know if you saw that cast, but I didn't even think about it, but that fly landed about 3 inches from the other side of the bank, and I wouldn't dream of doing that with any other rod than this one. And it's so intuitive to do it. It's kind of funny, actually. But everybody has their favorite rod. This is a 7.5-foot rod, so there's some drawbacks to that. But in this kind of water, it's going to do the job. And the only downside would be if I hooked into something really large. It would a fish could give me quite a ride with this rod being a 3-weight. Let's see if we can get a live take here. Kind of feels like we should get one in here. And oh no, that's the best snag I ever had. Felt like a huge fish. All right, nice fish. He took the hairs here, and let's get him out here. Nice brown. Yeah, see that fish just jump at the end of my line? Come on, baby. I know you're in there. Almost a perfect drift. Watch how slow this indicator goes right through there. It just bobs right along. You can tell that's really smooth water down there. So, a good place for a fish to hold. Not a lot of, doesn't have to fight hard to hold its ground. And let's see if one can prove me true. Oh, I like that area. Right, little fish on here. That might be a rainbow. Nope. Little baby brown. Fish number 10. Nice. It's 3:16 on the dot. So adventures on the fly today started at 3:15 a.m. when I left my house this morning, and it is now 3:16 p.m. and we're calling it a wrap. I've got a big day tomorrow, fishing with a local guy up here, a young man who works for the U.S. Forest Service and out of Mammoth, and so he knows all the hot spots, and so I'm looking forward to spending the day with him tomorrow. But as a recap, you know, I started off the day with that Euro Czech tight line rod, nymphing, and you know, it's the first time I'd really, you know, used it for a long period of time, a couple of hours, and it worked pretty well. But you know, at the second half of the day, second third of the day, I went back to my my true love, my Scott, my 3-weight Scott, and you know, it's just as fun as it always is, and it's just a great pleasure to fish with that rod. But good day, I think. All told, somewhere around 13 or 14 fish, and you know, another 5 or so that we got couldn't bring in. But you know, can't argue with that. They were all browns. The smallest one was, you know, a couple, probably 4 or 5 inchers, and then probably a couple, you know, 12 maybe 13 inch on 1 or 2 of those. But beautiful day up here on the wild trout section of the Lower Owens, and I'm gonna go wrap it up. I'm gonna go get a big steak dinner, take a shower, and go to bed and get ready for tomorrow. Thanks for joining me, Ventures on the Fly. Have a great day.